Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on the new Teen Titans anti-drug comic review. Now, as you know, during the rise of drugs and everything else, the creators did these anti-drug comics to show kids and young adults the effects of what drugs are like. So, you have Speedy carrying a kid who is no doubt dead, a hero called the Protector, and Cyborg, Raven, and Beast Boy, Starfire, and Wonder Girl all looking in shame with some kids who appear in the comic. Now, of course, in the comic as well, Starfire's outfit is changed from being a bit more exposable to a bit more less revealing. And you also have the character Protector, who is Robin's replacement due to the fact another company had the rights to a different character. So let's get on the comic review. It starts off how a young girl mentions how she took drugs and that she wants to be better. So meanwhile, Speedy and the others get to work taking on drug dealers and everything else, no doubt destroying property in the works. Raven takes on but senses something and notices some kid ending up having a drug overdose problem. So Cyborg and the others have to take him back to the hospital, and where the doctor mentions that this kid's dead, and Starfire's like, those drugs killed him? And so he goes off going, no! And Protector is like, Starfire, where are you? Blast, she's gone. Let her go, Pro. You know Starfire, she's like when you can't control anger. Now, when you think about it, I don't think they should just let her go. I think they should have Beast Boy or Wonder Girl or better yet Raven go out there, talk to her, and not let her do anything stupid. So no, and also it mentioned that the kid's friend had also had a drug overdose, but she survived. And Starfire ends up going into the drug lab where she destroys it, and no doubt causing property damage, and also probably destroying no doubt any possible police leads or anything that could lead them back to the drug dealers. So again, Beast Boy talks to one of the kids' sisters, and pretty much they mention how how their daughter's grades had passed, how every word of them is a curse. And Raven notices some other kids, and pretty much they notice that it's the Teen Titans, where they flee, and Raven shows up to talk with them, even Speedy and the others, and pretty much Starfire tries to talk with them, but they just refuse, and Speedy himself mentions about himself being a drug dealer, a druggie. And in the 1970s comics, he was a druggie, so you can understand why this was a big effect on him. And in the end, everyone leaves, but everyone's talking about how the effects are. And then she says, I have to tell them, Debbie. No, not you too. You're only 10. No, Mum, I didn't take. I saw what they've done to Debbie. But I know she's right. They're all over school. And I've heard some kids talking. And in the end, they pretty much talk about how, Cyborg was pressured into taking drugs, but he didn't want to do it. So pretty much the team go out to find out where the drug dealers are, and they mention how some kids are just doing nothing, but knowing them, they're probably just taking a break or something. I mean, how high do they have to be? So they also check out some kids playing basketball, and notice some drug dealers in their helicopters and with their personal vans and everything. I guess probably because due to the mafia and everything else would probably finance them and that. We also have a young Mr. T fan who talks about how he was pressured by drugs and everything else. Meanwhile, at the girl's brother's funeral, her friends pressure her into taking drugs again. I mean, they did see the first-hand effects, and in the artics, the crime bosses mention how they're gonna deceive people and make them take drugs. Starfire goes in there, and they And this one, they actually has the protectors trying to stop her, which they should have done earlier. So, pretty much, Cyborg takes him down. Perceptor does a nice leg kick. And also, when the priest is giving off the speech, they're like, Longfeld, huh? Fine boy. He is real bad. Yeah, bad boy. Real bad. So Anna's parents try to stop her from making a fool of herself. And she mentions how she hates everyone and she wishes she was dead. Her friends go after her and they realise that her parents are there. But Anna's parents want to get her help the best they can. And also, we also have some drug dealers offering drugs to some kids who are presumably 8 or 9 or 10 or 11. And if you think about it, this will draw too many suspicions. If you think about it, a police officer, or no doubt a bystander, will probably watch them and probably take pictures or something. Just as they're about to give this kid drugs, the Teen Titans show up to get into action. And pretty much this has Beast Boy going elephant mode, Wonder Girl taking them down, Raven telling them not to take the drugs and it could hurt them or worse be passed on to their children. And in the end, the drug dealers have all been wrapped up. Raven tells them to go and get help and such. Pretty much all of the kids that were taking the drugs end up deciding to go there and deal with the problem. Pretty much, this has Bee and the others being congratulated, and the first kid to raise her hand is at how she's a druggie, and yes, she is going to stop. And here you've got the what you could do, and things to provide of like, like not stealing backpacks, knowing what to do the right thing, knowing the answers to tests, and so on. And also the anti-drug stuff. Now, what do I think? The comic is not that bad, but I seriously doubt drug dealers did had bases in the Arctic and also fancy helicopters and stuff. I know it works in comic stuff, and it does make you surprised how much drugs there are in the world. And you can tell that these comics work well because it shows kids the first-hand effects. I give this comic a good thumbs up. Still good, still great, so yeah, comic reviewer here, signing out.